Shalom, shalom. All praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors goes into the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught me the truth. And much love, peace, and blessings goes out to all you hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. This is going to be a lesson I'm going to do, basically going into how Vocab Malone and his crew are trying to disturb the Feast of Wisdom. See, the Feast of Wisdom, which is the truth being brought out in proportion and its measure out the scriptures to feed the Israelites with understanding, because the words of the Bible and the wisdom and knowledge of it is likened unto nourishment and food. So in these last days, when it comes to our people that are waking up, wisdom is being poured out as a feast unto the believers. And nothing that any naysayer is talking about can do away with that fact. Okay? So when you look here at the book of the Sirach 39:16, it says, all the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season. And that's right. Anything Yahweh Hashem Yahushai commanded is accomplished, because he's a power of prophecy and decree, right? Because when the Lord gives a decree, his decree initiates the action, right? So when the Lord has decreed something, there's nothing that can get in the way of said action being carried out. Now, what the Lord promised in this season is that the Israelites would be given, would be raised up in this knowledge. Because if you look here, this is one of those decrees. Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And that's reiterates that point, that knowledge is nourishment. It's a meal. It's just like when you eat bread, just like when you have sustenance of other things, when you eat other things. Wisdom and knowledge is the same exact thing. That's why it's being used in that form of feeding. Now, what the Lord said here was a decree. It was a prophecy that in this time, pastors will be given to feed us. And that's exactly what's happened. The Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans waking up to their true identity. That's us being fed. Having knowledge of our enemies and our history and, prophecy and what's going on and what's going to happen. That's all being fed to the Israelites. And there's none that can stop it. It says, so going back to Sirach 39, it says, verse 17, and none may say, what is this? Wherefore is that? And in other words, none can question it. It says, for at time convenient, they shall be sought out. At his commandment, the waters stood as a heap, and at the words of his mouth, the receptacles of water. And that shows you the power of Yahweh Shemel Shah's words, of what he commands to happen on earth. As he speaks it, it surely happens, man. So when you got opposing forces like Christianity, like scoffers, like bug outs, like agents that try to do harm to brothers, or witches that try to cast spells, that's not doing nothing. The word of the Lord is said to prosper, and it's framed up, and it's flourishing right now. It says, at his commandment is done whatsoever pleaseth him, and none can hinder when he will save. And this is the exact point, because what our enemies realize right now is we live in a time of the salvation of the Israelites. But the scriptures double down in the point that you cannot hinder the arm of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because when it comes to anything the Lord decreed, let's take for example, right? Yahweh Shai, when he walked on the earth, nothing on the earth, even though he had the scribes and Pharisees mocking him and rousing up the cities against him, nothing of what they did stopped him from his mission at that time, which was to be a sacrifice for the propitiation of the sins of the nation of Israel. Because as many demons, even the spiritual demon Satan himself, try to hinder Yahweh Shai, that couldn't stop him. Why? Because he was guided by the hand of his father. Because it's Yahweh's decree itself. Because, I mean, you look at the many, vices and the plans of men. You got men out there, even women, planning for businesses, planning birthday parties. But when it comes to human beings, plans can go awry. But Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, his plans never go awry. And that's why this doctrine cannot be defeated. Okay? So let's go to the scripture I was talking about this wisdom being likened, that feast being prepared. This is Proverbs 9:1. It says, wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. And the house represents the men of the Lord. The men of the Lord being builded up. Because the men of the Lord are the spiritual temple, the spiritual house of wisdom, if you will. Spiritual. Hold on. Salakia. Let's look at this up. Because it mentioned wisdom building her house, right? Ephesians 2:22, in whom ye, meaning the believers, the men of the Lord, are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit. So wisdom being built, that represents the men of the Lord. It says, she hath mingled her beasts. She hath killed her beasts. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished the table, and that the beast being killed and the wine being mingled is basically the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai. Because this was this house being built is upon that foundation of Yahweh Shai being slain. Do you see what I mean? Yahweh Shai had to be that sacrifice in order for us to gain this wisdom in these days. Okay? It says she has sent forth her maidens, and that represents the men of the Lord. The men of the Lord are the maidens. Because when you read the book of Revelation, it speaks about the men of the Lord being those not defiled with women, being virgins. And that's why you got brothers all across the world waking up, telling you what it is when it comes to the scriptures. So wisdom is sending forth. And like I said, I'm going to keep saying, there's nothing no one can do about it. It says, she cried upon the highest places of the city. And that's what we're doing. When we get out there with words that the men of the Lord speak, they're cuts. And that's the whole objective of these people that try to come against the words, because they want to stop the words. If the words hurt them, the words expose. The words are like a monkey wrench, if you will. They're cut. It says, whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, in other words, if you lack understanding, she saith unto him, come eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. And that's the standpoint of Vocab Malone and the rest of these heathens that come against us. They want our people to continue in their simplicity. Because our people, when we were without this knowledge, we thought it was all about make it in this world. You got to chase the dollar. You got to do X, Y, Z. You got to appeal to the so-called white man. You got to have your white voice when you're talking to white people. You see what I'm saying? But we understanding that it's not about any of that. That we have a power, we have a crown. Because this world banks on the Israelites being in a servitude mentality. So that makes this word very dangerous. It says, read verse 5 again. Come eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. So we're to eat of the bread, the sacrifice, the body and the blood of Yahweh Shai. Because this feast, like I said, starts with him. It says, forsake the foolish and live and go in the way of understanding. And that's what our people are doing. They're going into the way of understanding, of pleasing the Lord, of keeping his commandments once again, of knowing his true name. Because part of understanding is understanding his name. Our people was calling on God and Christ for a millennia, and look what, it didn't get them nowhere. You know, a millennia is kind of over. Well, you know what? Because we were calling on Jesus Christ, if you will, even in the dark ages. Of course, in different languages like the Old English, you know, the Old French and Latin and all those languages our people were speaking at that time. You know, so-called blacks ruled Europe. But we were dependent on false religion from then until us being in slavery, until, you know, the 60s and some a lot of our people to this day. And look, it ain't getting them nowhere. You see? But this feast, man, is putting life back into our people, you know? So let's go to Salaki. Look at this, the parable of the marriage feast. Matthew chapter 22 and 1. This further, you know, solidifies that point of this wisdom. It says, and Yahweh Shai answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. It says, Salakia. Let's read verse 4 again. It says, again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. So basically what it's saying is that this is the feast which Yahweh Shai has prepared. It's a parable that the kingdom of heaven is likened unto that. Because Jake has that ability to come and eat freely, and they're being bidden from the men of the Lord. And this is a time of urgency. It says, but they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up the city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways and find as many as ye find, bid to the marriage. And now basically that's making the statement that, you know, this truth is being bidden to the nation of Israel to come and wake up. And in ancient times, you know, the Israelites, they've been rejecting the words of the Lord. But still, that judgment is going to come full circle as far as the repercussions behind Jake rejecting this. You know, it says, let's go to Isaiah 14 and 26. It says, this is the purpose that is purpose upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all nations. For the Lord of hosts has purpose, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Meaning you cannot turn back the hand of the Lord once it's stretched out. You know, these people, they out here through. You know, the Christians are hurt, they're cut, but it can't be turned around by no means, because everything that brothers are saying is going to come to pass. You know? So let's go to the last scripture. Acts chapter 5 and verse 38. It says, now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High. So this truth, hey, that goes out to all the naysayers and unbelievers, and a confirmation to all you brothers out here that what we're doing is a good work, it's solid, and no one can mess with it. Because if they mess with us and they try to, you know, use their tactics to dispel what we're saying, look, man, they fighting against the Most High himself, the author of heaven and earth, everything that you see or have experienced. All right. So these guys are out their mind. There's nothing to worry about. They're finished. All praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.